What's up, guys? How's it going? Today's video, we're going to talk about a recent competition I did, the Grappling Industries in Toronto. I'm kind of doing some warm-up tournaments before this kind of big summer tournament thing kind of gets confirmed, right? CJI looks like it's in the works, and ADCC is definitely in the works for sure, you know, or at least ADCC trials. I don't know if CJI is going to happen, even if Pedigo gets invited. I'm affiliated with Pedigo, but they also have another amazing heavyweight, John Hansen, who's way more experienced than me, has a lot more years as an affiliate with Pedigo, and so on and so on. But I'm going to prepare well just in case. With that being said, had 4 matches. At Grappling Industries, you only have 5 minutes to compete. I competed in the expert absolute division. I opted out of my division after I won the absolute because it was just all blue belts. It was not win-win, honestly. Yeah. So the expert absolute, I only faced purple belts and up. I faced 2 purple belts, a brown belt, and a black belt. So it was awesome. It was very fun. But yeah, in the first match, had a very cagey guy. I don't know if he was an MMA fighter or nothing. All I know is he was a small purple belt, maybe 150 soaking wet. Tough kid. I just couldn't get him to engage with me. He just kind of circled his butt out of bounds, and we went out of bounds about 10 times in the match. And eventually he shot 2 shots. He shot 1 shot, put him in a guillotine. He kind of spazzed out of it and then shot another shot. And then I eventually just kind of took him down from his shot, past his guard, and with like a minute and a half left, the match was over. So tough kid, did a really good job of not really letting action happen. It is what it is. It's a little frustrating because when you have a little bit of a name, some people will kind of just run away from you and try to survive. I gotta be better. I gotta learn how to make the action work. I even pulled guard trying to get him to engage, but it didn't happen, and that's my fault, you know. No, all the more to him. The guy was able to survive the match. In the next match, I had a black belt, really tough leg locker guy. He had three leg locks, I believe, 2 heel hooks and an ankle lock on the day. So I knew, okay, he's really tough. He's gonna come after my legs. But surprisingly, he kind of stood up with me. I think I could be wrong. This guy knows what he's doing. I think he was trying to bait me to do a guillotine. But funny enough, on that day, I was like, I'm shooting 0 shots. So if you guys don't know, I kind of like to do goal setting. If you've watched other videos, you've seen this, but when I do these really small tournaments, and I wouldn't call it small, there are 37 people in the bracket, but when I do these more local tournaments, I'll do goal setting. So I'll be like, I want to do this one thing. My goal for this was to kind of try to hit overtie slide bys. I only got 1, but whatever. And to avoid hitting my knees and to do a lot of outside passing that Heath Pedigo was teaching me while I was on my trips to PSF for ADCC, Worlds, etc., etc. So in this match, the black belt, really good leg locker, for some reason he stayed standing. I think he was trying to bait me to do a guillotine, and I was able to hit an outside step duck without hitting my knee on the mat, because again, I did not want to hit my knees at all, and a overtie slide by to a big potential mat return, which I kind of let go because I'm not trying to be a douchebag. It was a very, very fun match. That one ended in rear naked choke. Next match, I had a really, really strong Turkish guy. Guy had a pretty good guard. He had very good wrestling. I was able to utilize a snap down go behind. Again, sticking to the theme of do not shoot. There were plenty of times where I could have shot. I could have hit a sweep single or an ankle pick, but I was really, really focused on do not shoot, just because honestly, with this bulk that I'm doing, I'm trying to get a lot bigger, because after Worlds, I realized how small I am compared to these guys and how weak I am. I'm trying to put more of a focus on gaining some weight and kind of getting used to doing that. I've gained almost 10 pounds already. It's kind of harder to shoot now with my legs, to be completely honest with you. So I'm kind of getting used to the extra weight. So not shooting on my knees is really nice. Ended up passing guard, taking the back, getting a rear naked choke. In the final match, I had a really awesome up-and-comer. This guy, I had known about him for a bit because he'd won the ADCC Open in Montreal last year in the expert division, and then he got second in the absolute division against one of my training partners, Mustafa, who is a Greco World Team member, multiple-time Greco World Team member, and he only lost 2-0 to Mustafa. And Mustafa gives me my hardest rounds in all of Canada by far, not only because of his wrestling base, but if I pull guard, he knows how to get to chest and pass pretty much better than anyone. And the kid that I faced in the finals had a really close match where he almost swept Mustafa and won the match, and I was super excited to go against this kid. I don't know, maybe 180, 190. Very cool kid, very humble kid. We get along a lot, and we went after each other. He had really good guard retention, just a really good guard. He had lots of threats. He could have submitted me, you know. I made sure to stay out of certain positions because I know he could have submitted me if I got into those positions. He's just a beast. So I was really grateful to go against him, especially because he's one of the big up-and-comers in Canada, and I'd say give this guy 2-3 more years and I don't want to have another match with him, you know what I mean? But he's awesome. So I was grateful I got to have a match with that guy. He was a big name, at least in the local circuit, so that was super fun. And that was the finals of absolutes. With that being said, let's get into the video. Sorry I talk so much. Hey, 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Don't skip this. All right, guys, if you want to support the channel, if you want me to keep posting videos like this, or you just want to get better, I have a ton of wrestling for jiu-jitsu instructionals. This includes solo drills, hand fighting, and very specific takedown systems from things like the underhook, the single leg, the duck under, the ankle pick, and more. It's extremely important to have a good top game and have the ability to take someone down. I think a good guard game is the most important thing in jiu-jitsu, but it never hurts to be able to get on top and stay on top if you have to. Go ahead and click one of the links that's going to pop up above. I believe it'll be here. Or go to brandonreed3x.com/store to check out the instructionals. Anyways, let's get back to the video. And that is the video, guys. So I know someone's gonna ask, Brandon, why are you competing at a Grappling Industries? It's a local tournament. Even though it's expert division where you're facing purple belts, brown belts, black belts, why are you doing it? Especially the absolute division. Well, I need experience, I need reps. Lots of people don't understand, I don't even have anywhere near 100 matches in jiu-jitsu, and I keep asking for big matches. I keep requesting these. I've called out Owen Livesley, I've called out Declan Moody, I've called out all these big people, I've tagged big promotions. I'm trying to get competition, and no one is bringing me out for competition. No one. The only time I've been invited for one of the big things was ADCC, right? And that was after I had a really good performance at ADCC trials where I medaled, and then CJI came in and created the opportunity for me to go. So I'm having a really hard time finding these really big matches. I'm going to an ADCC Open in about 10 days to go compete after I get back to Canada. I'm in Louisville right now visiting my family. But Devontae Johnson said it, and I think this really holds true. It's like, no one's going to create the opportunities for you. You have to create the opportunities for yourself. You have to compete consistently, right? One of the biggest issues that athletes have, and I talked about this in another video, is they say that they're an athlete. They train a lot. They do the full-time training, but they don't compete a lot. But what does it mean to be an athlete? To me, and this is obviously subjective, right? You guys can have a totally different opinion. Let me know in the comment below. But to be an athlete means you're competing, right? It means that you're not just training, because if you're just training, you're a hobbyist. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being a hobbyist. I love the hobbyists. You guys are the best. But if you say that you're an athlete, you got to compete. When I was wrestling in college, I competed at lower level stuff and I competed at higher level stuff. Not every match that I had in college was against the number 2 ranked kid in the country. Lots of the time, we had lots of warm-up matches. Our coach would literally be like, all right, we're going here so you guys can kind of shake out the nerves, practice warming up, practice the routine of stepping on the mat, and practice competing. And I think that's extremely valuable. And I think one of the things that holds a lot of the up-and-comers back is that they just don't compete. and they won't compete unless it's at something super big for a multitude of reasons. I don't mind paying the registration fee, again, because I need to invest in my future self. I know Gordon Ryan said before by the time he was a purple belt, he already had like 400 matches, because he just kept going and doing, and not everyone's blessed enough to, you know, be able to afford doing this stuff, but I'm lucky that I am. But anyways, sorry for that ramble. If you can afford to, and you say you're an athlete, you should compete consistently, and you should do different levels and variants of competition. Right? This is just my personal opinion. I had a lot of fun at this competition. Like I said, 3 out of 4 submissions. First match, it was really hard to kind of make contact with the guy. Very cagey guy. I got really nothing else to say. He did what he had to do. Next competition is in about 10 days at ADCC Open. There's going to be some tough guys there, some similar faces too. This time I'm only going to do my weight division because there's actually going to be black belts in the division and not just a bunch of blue belts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I really do enjoy making these vlogs. I think they're super fun, and I just want to say mad respect to all my opponents. I mean, lots of guys didn't have to sign up for the absolute. They didn't have to compete against me. I was signed up for weeks before this tournament, and there was still 37 people. I think there was like 50 people in the division originally, and then there became like 37 people. Multiple black belts dropped out, but a lot of black belts, a lot of brown belts, a lot of purple belts stayed in the tournament, and I have mad respect for that, because I know it's easy to just be like, you know what, I'm just a hobbyist, I'm just a local competitor, I don't need to go do matches with this person or that person. You guys are awesome. And these videos always remind you, they're not to flex on anyone, or they're not to belittle anyone. It's content, it's putting myself out there, it's trying to get better at this stuff. And yeah, that's it. I'll show you, as always guys, I'm gonna show you my wins, I'm gonna show you my losses, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I call these vlogs, because it's not just highlight reels, right? It's me discussing and having conversations with you guys after these tournaments to kind of say what is on my mind. And yeah, that's it guys. If you guys like to support the channel, you guys know what to do. Check out my instructionals at brandonreed3x.com/store, and talk to you guys next time.